Let's see what's up ahead, Victor.
Always something new to discover.
Before we get into the details of megalights, I first wanted to talk about this environment. Built using a suite of brand new assets from the Quixel Megascans library, we've also partnered with Kitbash 3D. They're an awesome resource for 3D models and materials. You can soon find many of these assets on our new Fab Asset Marketplace if you want to use them in your own projects. Moving on, let's talk megalights. Unreal Engine is at its best when users can express themselves without technical constraint. Like Nanite did for triangles or Lumen for global illumination, megalights removes limitation in a whole new category: direct lighting and shadows. Take, for example, these textured area lights, considered the gold standard of offline rendering. Here they are, in real time, spilling vibrant color into the scene, casting soft shadows, and illuminating the environment in a way artists simply couldn't have done before. And a whole new tool in the Creator's Toolkit is huge, but that's not the only way megalights makes things better. Let's see what's next.
Hey there, little guy. Who are you?
So it looks like Echo has found herself in quite an interesting marketplace here. It's just about to open for the day. Let's turn on some of these shop fronts and see what's for sale. There's something missing, though. The scene, it's flat, it's undefined. Let's turn on shadows, but not just for a few important lights, for every single light in the entire view. From these main shop fronts to the screens, the displays, the flickering oil lamps, string lights, candles, signs, we're free to use whatever lights we need to tell our story and bring this beautiful environment to life. Now, the density of light sources you see here, it's extremely high. And this is what you get when artists are working playfully, without limitation. Okay, let's go back to the scene. Victor, let's go further. Let's activate all these animated drones and robots. Over 1,000 individual shadow casting light sources in this view alone.
Wow, like little fireflies.
All of these lights, they're movable, dynamic, scattering through the volumetric fog, and Megalights handles this impressive scene without missing a beat. As we continue on, it's worth mentioning that removing these limitations around light count and shadows, it doesn't just apply to point and spotlights, but to area lights as well. Megalights enables artists to use area lights as freely as they would any other light source. Now, whether you're using textured area lights, light functions, crisp shadows, or lovely soft shadows, you can have huge numbers of lights of any type in whatever configuration works best for your scene. Now, as we send Echo off on her next adventure, we should mention performance. What you've seen here is running live on a PlayStation 5. Megalights is included in UE55. It's an experimental feature in 5.5, and you can also check it out on the expo floor if you want a closer look at all the pretty pixels.
Box MMO. Taking inspiration from medieval Europe, PAX Day is a vast open world shared between thousands of players. Here, you choose the role you want to play, explore the land, build your home, and forge your reputation.
First and foremost, PAX Day is a place. As we set about creating an MMO for the modern age, we knew the first thing we had to get right was the world. We spent a lot of time establishing the right atmosphere. We want the world of PAX Day to feel grounded and familiar, while at the same time looking cinematic, more vibrant, and larger than life.
Unreal Engine empowers our relatively small team to punch way above our weight class in terms of project scope and quality. Lumen allows us to achieve unparalleled realism in our environments, while Nanite ensures that even the most intricate details are rendered flawlessly without compromising performance.
And we have the ability to render player-made structures in real time, in minute detail, and at great distances. Players can gaze out over miles of terrain, spotting distant landmarks and player-built cities that invite exploration.
One of the most powerful extensions we've made to Unreal is the ability to seamlessly transition player state between Unreal servers. By stitching together a fleet of Unreal servers, we created a game world over 150 square miles in size that can support over 8,000 players in a single game instance. As players travel, servers are automatically spun up, ensuring a smooth gameplay experience.
PAX Day is a true sandbox. The world's a stage, a blank canvas for players to make their own. Everything players use in the game has to be crafted, starting with your home. We've been amazed at the level of creativity our players have shown using the modular building system in the game. And when full clans join forces, whole player-created civilizations start to emerge.
Our vision for PAX Day required us to address heads-on the classic challenge any MMO faces: how to handle high player density. To tackle this, we created tech that dynamically distributes players across layers. This allows the server capacity to temporarily scale in the same location whenever that zone requires higher concurrency. Player and world state is persisted across all the layers, with each layer corresponding to a single Unreal server. With layering, clans can work together to build huge structures such as cities while still sharing the same persisted world. An old persisted state, such as buildings, inventories, and market stalls, is intelligently shared and replicated using a robust backend that ensures transactionality and data integrity.
And it's not only buildings. Every weapon, dress, or piece of armor in PAX Day is player-created. We work hard on giving each item a level of detail that will make players proud of having crafted it. And soon we're going to be adding a lot of depth to this aspect of our game.
We're currently upgrading our wear and tear system to dynamically adjust the appearances of individual pieces of equipment, reflecting how much damage is received, so you know if it's time for repair. We also built each item from the ground up to be modular, making it easy to adjust the fabric and color, add patterns or symbols, or change the trim. With these options, players will soon be able to express as much creativity in customizing their appearance as they already enjoy in the building side of the game.
Our game requires the community to come alive. To all the players that have joined us in early access so far, thank you. We've been humbled by your feedback, support, and passion, and we couldn't do it without you. If you want to support a team making something fresh in the MMO space, please join our early access now and help us build a virtual world that we can all inhabit for years to come. Thank you very much.
Matching technology that helps you achieve smoother animation transition and locomotion that adapts to the environment. Creating animation requires a lot of effort, and being able to do it in context in your environments makes that much easier. That is why we're continuing to invest in developing a world-class animation authoring system and removing the need to round trip to DCC or any external tools. Some of the improvements we've made in 5.5 include deformers that are now much easier to use and can be added to Sequencer with just one click. Time warp curves and animation layers have been added, enabling non-destructive editing on top of existing animation or mocap. Choosers help you make selections in animation blueprint systems. And finally, the skeletal editor is now production ready. Character creation and customization is another area where we invested in order to simplify content creation workflows. The Mutable plugin makes it easier to support a wide range of variations on characters or skeletal meshes. For example, it hides hair when equipping a helmet. It can also procedurally tuck pants into boots and hide parts of layered clothing to prevent Z-fighting. It reduces the number of draw calls by optimizing and merging mesh sections and textures. And all of this can be achieved simply by using a graph, reducing the need for your team to create character variations individually. This plugin will ship as beta in 5.5, and we've included a content sample to help you get started. You can also leverage machine learning to keep your characters more realistic. Our simulation system can be used to provide high-fidelity ML training data for clot and muscle deformation. And while we're talking about simulation and physics, in 5.5, we've added support for customizable vehicles that provide a building block-style assembly, giving you the flexibility to configure and customize your vehicles with ease. As for chaos physics, we're committed to making it an accurate and simple-to-use simulation system. In 5.5, we've made significant optimizations and expanded the chaos visual debugger to help with performance analysis and debugging. Now, let's talk about audio. A few years ago, we introduced MetaSounds, our procedural audio engine, to give more control and better controls to audio designers. With 5.5, we improved productivity and performance with MetaSound pages, which can be used to swap graphs to target low-spec platforms, the relative render cost metric, which helps limit CPU usage, and many updates to Audio Insights, our analyzer and profiler tool. For all you audiophiles in the room, be sure to stop by our audio booth in the expo to dig deeper into these updates.